This is an image from Wikipedia demonstrating compression levels in JPEG by going from no compression to absurd levels of shitty compression. At some point you see very obvious color changes, but at this point right about here you see only minor color changes and quality changes, and if this was reduced down a great deal, you wouldn't be able to notice the difference between here and here in most cases. Now we're zooming in. Now this is at hundreds of times the magnification you would see on a TV set or screen, and you may have noticed something specifically weird. Now you notice that the whiskers and hairs that are long enough get incorporated into the high resolution image very nicely, but over here they don't either exist or the computer completely flips out on them, or even goes to the point of making really high resolution crosshatch patterns out of it. Now, we're going to look in here. Do you believe someone played tic-tac-toe on a tabby's face? We're going to zoom in, and it may be really difficult for you to see this, or really easy, depending on what you're viewing this on. That looks like an @ symbol or an I tilted to an angle. This looks like the letter X, and that looks like a letter O or a 0. I guarantee you that wasn't in the image. The JPEG compression routine is kind of guessing it. Some of you may have seen those AI-generated utility kind of things generating pictures of people's faces made out of dog faces or sausages or kittens or whatever, because that's what the AI program chose to use to approximate it. This isn't much different than you using ASCII artwork to draw a grayscale image. Do you believe as you zoom in to a JPEG that's compressed further and further that you really are seeing a letter X, a 0, a W, an N? Do you really believe that those were in the real image? I want to point out that if you really push this to the limit, you can look at here. These are, if you're not aware of it, that's halftoning. Over here in the white area, it's really obvious it's been halftoned. Instead of having an actual grayscale color, each pixel is given a light or dark value so that when you zoom out, it blends together. You can still see the dots. And then if you zoom out fully, it just becomes subtle shading because it's out of focus in the background. But no matter how far I zoom out, no matter what, look at the halftoning that happens when there's so little information on the screen. At this point, you might have noticed it gets worse. That's because my web browser zooming this in and out is doing a poor job. Let's zoom in one notch. Looks bad, but not as bad. Let's zoom back out. Excuse me. Okay, there it's bad again. Now let me zoom out one more notch. Suddenly it makes it look like a good grayscale. If I just have it show it to me raw, it's still blotchy, and this is with lower and lower compression. But I can guarantee if we zoom in up here, if I get in really, really close, we are seeing halftoning all over the place. And over here we get this area over here has it. We see an implication of whiskers here, but really it's just half-toned blotches. And they're not white, they're dark on whiter color. By the way, do you see any evil faces, pareidolia, in the nose? A zoomed-in cat's nose looks like an evil face to a lot of people. There's your eyes, there's the nose, and there's the mouth of some evil demon or something. And yes, if you could zoom in enough, you would see the reflection of the background behind the camera person. Again, just because we can zoom in on something almost infinitely doesn't mean we're getting more data. We're getting more falsehoods. So, no, if you look at a JPEG and zoom in on it, and you don't acknowledge this obvious phenomena that always happens, and it even happens with uncompressed images sometimes too, because the optical sensors aren't perfect either. Beyond a certain point, all you're doing is seeing aberrations, anomalies, and BS generated by technology by accident. Or you can claim that that was really tic-tac-toe or some secret message in the picture. Also, some people really do alter the image. What you do is you take a normal a normal image, uncompressed, and then you add grayscale filters to it to where it does write something in it, and then you go ahead and let JPEG compression do it. If JPEG compression detects lines, like letters and numbers, it'll emphasize them stronger. You could also hide it in the white noise area here. Or, as has been done before in secret message programs you can download off the net, they'll alter the stippling or halftoning or whatever it is that the effect is that's being used, and insert binary data in it, a message. The point I'm making here is if you look at a JPEG, zoom in on it and see something, especially something you want to see, maybe it's because you want to see it, maybe because it's you and it's not the software or the hardware. And also, did any of you notice a pattern that shows up here where this looks like a tail, looks like a cat, looks like wheels on a kitty? Can you unsee it? Let's zoom back out. Can you unsee the kitty cat here? And if we zoom in just enough, can you unsee the letters and numbers here? Or do you not see them? No answer is correct or wrong. It's what you see. And more importantly, details are in the eye of the beholder. Here I see the screen face. It's like looking at a blank wall. You'll see things, usually faces or caricatures or characters. I guarantee you that the little fuzzball's hair did not go zing, 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 and then back again. I'll leave a link to the Wikipedia article on JPEG compression examples. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. No, when you zoom in on a JPEG, it doesn't give you more information. It gives you more fallacies.